Okay, this is going to be a demonstration of my make.com automation scenario that creates web page content. Now, there's all kinds of different automations you can create with make.com, obviously. This demonstrates some of the modules that are available in Make. Um, we have the Google Sheets module, Perplexity module, which is an AI model, which we use here to do research. Perplexity is very good for doing online research, where it can do a search, um, and it can combine information and give you references for where it finds that information online. So we use Perplexity to analyze competitors and get an idea of what they're doing in creation of the content. And I'll show you some of the stuff we return from those. So we've got these light blue ones. Those are JSON modules. JSON is a format of transferring data, which is very common. And we use it here in make.com to um, get our data returned from our AI models, as well as pass it into other models modules. Um, we have Dropbox. So a few times along the way, we do push things to Dropbox. We push the second version of the outline, the first draft, and the final to Dropbox. And then what happens at the end is it gets the content gets sent right to WordPress. So our last module is a WordPress module, and you'll see how that works in a second. So here's the website. This is the website we're working on currently, and we are running Willow Grove as the location. So this line in our Google spreadsheet. So our input data comes from a Google spreadsheet, and each row in the spreadsheet represents a separate location page. So all the information needed for the page is included in this line, in this row. Now, it doesn't contain the content, obviously. It just contains the input data, a lot of basic stuff. We select our primary keyword. We send secondary keywords. And then during the research, we do get some other term lists created as well. We get the NLP terms, which gets populated into the sheet here and later used by ChatGPT. NLP terms it's just SEO jargon for terms that are relevant to a specific industry that you'd see on a website. The geo modifiers, those are local references that's a list that gets compiled by Perplexity and gets used later by ChatGPT when it creates the outline and injects enrichment terms and keywords and things into specific sections of the outline to be used there for writing. So this research blob, this gets inserted into the row as well in the spreadsheet. That's just a synthesis of all the competitor information that we compile. Perplexity creates, or actually, ChatGPT writes the synthesis. And then it later uses that in a later phase to write the content. Now, let me just go to the locations here. We're currently working on Willow Grove, and you'll see the page is currently not populated. It just has a header and a footer so far. And it looks like our automation just completed, so looks like if we reload it, yeah, so we have it completed. So there's the content, right from make.com to WordPress. And I have to change out the image there. That's just from the template that I'm using for this website. And the automation itself doesn't include any image handling, but I'm going to add that, I think. I'm going to put my own images into a Dropbox folder and have the automation search that folder by keyword and just insert images. This way I don't have to do it myself. Even though all the images will be relatively the same on each location page, we can get some variety by just having the automation insert images on the fly. So let's take a look at the types of stuff we have here. We have an external link. That link gets pulled from the web by Perplexity. That's a Wikipedia link for our main location, for the location that the page is focused on. We have some internal links. So the other services are featured in a section of their own. Each one has a link to its service page by directive of the input data. Neighborhoods is a predefined section as well here. But what happens is Perplexity goes on the web and pulls neighborhoods. So I don't input the names of these neighborhoods. Perplexity actually, in the research process, goes and gets neighborhoods, and those become part of the content. This is part of my can't even talk here. Perplexity prompt, the first one anyway, and this is what it returns. So you can see it's in this format. It's JSON format. It's got the competitors here, competitor synthesis. It actually pulls PAA questions, which are people always ask from the Google SERP. Those are used and integrated into the content. Now, we don't do an FAQ section on this particular page for locations, but the questions nonetheless get incorporated into the content. We've got the location link, which gets returned from Perplexity, and I showed you that, the Wikipedia link. Landmark links. I talked about the neighborhoods, but landmarks are another thing that we have included here. So we have a landmark and local attraction section, and we just pull 3 of those from the web, Perplexity does, and also gives us a link. So that one is a Wikipedia link. Some of these will be not Wikipedia. There's an internal link to the About Us page, and we have our homepage link and our phone link at the end. So that's how that looks. Fully SEO optimized content for a location page and sent right to our WordPress install. And the way that happens is we do feed in our page ID, our post ID as it's called, for each individual location page. So that's how it connects. So you can see how that works. So yeah, just one of the many types of different automations we can do with make.com. And I showed you how elaborate the prompting is. Here's a ChatGPT prompt. It's in 2 parts. So it goes into a lot of detail. There's a lot of rules and requirements. And this part of it here shows the input data, stuff from our sheet. This is actually the outline that's created in an earlier step, fed into this ChatGPT step here, because this is the step that writes the sections individually. So this is the specific section that's getting written there. Okay, so that's the demonstration there of how we can create website content that's SEO optimized with make.com. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.